Hi, everybody. I'm live again for the second day in a row, so let's see how many of you actually enjoyed yesterday's and didn't just say that to be nice. Oh, already one person. Hi, whoever you are. Um, oh, Kathy. Yeah. Oh, you're probably referring to my hat and not just what I was saying. I'm gonna guess that. My mom called me a big dork. So, silly, big dork, whatever. Um, isn't this great? I was digging through um, a little used kitchen drawer today. Completely forgot that I got this hat some, I don't know, years ago. And I was baking, and so why not wear it? Oh, thanks, Kathy. She says, I still love you. Aw. So I had to wear my hat today. Um, Today I was just finished up baking a recipe that I found on Facebook called Amish bread. And I have no idea if it was actually Amish, and I literally pulled it out of the oven like 2 minutes ago, otherwise I'd show it to you. But uh, I'll post a picture, certainly, after I'm done with this video. Um, it smells awesome. I haven't tasted it yet. I don't know if it's actually Amish. Hi, BJ. Uh, I don't know if it's actually Amish, but it smells delightful. It reminds me of coffee cake, but in a loaf form. And so it's got this cinnamon sugar mixture in a sweet loaf, um, what do you call it? A quick bread, not a yeasted bread. So you just mix it up and put it in there and bake it, and it's done. And so I will be tasting that as soon as it cools down enough. But smells good, and such an excellent opportunity to wear my hat. Um, let's see. I had other food stuff I was going to talk about today. Um, I went to the grocery store today. It was an adventure. I'm one of those weirdos that actually likes grocery shopping. I know that's kind of a chore for a lot of people, as is cooking, but I like everything to do with food. So I really don't mind going to the store, and I like looking at my recipes and thinking about what I want to cook for the week and making a list. I also love lists. Hang on, I got it. This wasn't part of my plan, but let me show you this. This is my activities list for all the fun things I can do and less fun things that I need to do while I am sheltering in place. I've got 6 pages here of stuff because I like doing lists. So it was a lot more fun to make a list than actually do anything on my list. So I made a whole, and it's tied together with a little string because I'm a dork. So I've got fitness on one page, stuff to do for my podcast, writing projects, crafting projects, and some other stuff. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the grocery store. Kathy comments, my daughter is my frontliner for me, and I love to do groceries too. Also a foodie. And also, hi Marlene. So I went to the grocery store today for myself, but also for my parents. I have been encouraging them to stay at home entirely unless it's absolutely unavoidable, which so far in the last 2 weeks or so, I think my dad's been out once just to take his truck to the shop, and because it wasn't something I could do for him, he had to be there in person for it. And My mom has not been out at all. I've been doing all their errands for them, including groceries. And so I do their grocery shopping and my grocery shopping all at once and separate it out on the whatever you call it, the conveyor belt thing, and so that we have theirs and then we bring up mine, and it anyway, it's I'm glad I can do that for them, but it's I still enjoy going to the grocery store, but now I feel like it's an adventure because we didn't stockpile per se, but we did buy enough groceries for a couple weeks for most things, and then like just for the normal week's worth for some other things. And so I'm still trying to go to the grocery store at most once a week just to keep up with having stores of food and not run too low on anything. So today, like, we were basically out of milk and all out of orange juice, and so those were very important, so I had to go to the store and I did the whole week's worth today. But it's fascinating walking around the store and seeing what is out. Of course, everyone knows about the toilet paper shortages, but it's not just toilet paper. So if you have a frontliner running to the store for you and you haven't seen it, and you've just been hearing about the toilet paper, it's really not just the toilet paper. It's it's this everything canned, basically, all the popular things anyway. There's lots of canned hominy and okra and collard greens still, but there's like no soup. There's, at least at the store that we shop at, and it seemed to vary by stores because I have run around to a couple different ones. And so like last week I could get the eggs at one store and I could get what was the other thing? Butter at the other store. But so one store had eggs but no butter, and the other store had butter but no eggs. So sometimes I do have to go to multiple places, but today I did okay. Still no paper products anywhere, but we're good on toilet paper for another couple weeks, so hopefully it's okay by then. And one of the things I noticed when I was at the store today was that for the snacks, well, there was lots of chips and stuff, but so I guess it's not all snacks, but like I was walking down the aisle from, oh, hang on, BJ says, got duck eggs from a local farm yesterday. Oh, I love duck eggs. I haven't had duck eggs in like 2 years. Oh, they're so good. I was walking down the aisle that had pasta, I think. So there's no pasta at all except for a little bit of gluten-free stuff. There's also no rice, which was disappointing because I have enough rice for the week, but not for 2. So anyway, I couldn't get rice. But anyway, my point was I was walking down this aisle, and it happened to also be the aisle where the like the Asian food ingredients are. So like rice noodles and miso and that kind of stuff. And so there was these big empty sections with all the like Italian stuff, the pastas and whatnot. But the Asian section had basically everything. So apparently people who shop at that store don't really like Asian food that much, I guess. And I got really excited though. I never really look there too much except, well, like I do cook a lot of things that use the ingredients there, but I go there and I get like just what I need. I don't go browsing through. But I happen to be just kind of looking at what people are stockpiling and what they're ignoring, and there was a gap all around this product, but for some reason no one wanted the isomaki, which is tragic because this is such good stuff. So I had to get a bag. So if you've never tried this. So good. It's a seaweed wrapped rice cracker. So it's a little crispy, light, airy rice flour cracker. And then they wrap I haven't opened it yet, but you can see. So there's the cracker, and they wrap seaweed, dried seaweed around it. And so it's kind of a mildly sweet, but mostly salty, savory snack. And just yummy. So, if you are grocery shopping and getting frustrated about the lack of things, maybe consider trying some new stuff like isomaki or whatever. Anyway, just my thoughts about the grocery store. Oh, my other food thing I was going to talk about. I can't really show you because I can't move the screen to look down in here, but I have made myself today some turmeric milk, which is also called golden milk. And if you are looking for a healthful drink, especially something that's warm and comforting, then you might want to give this one a try. It is, isn't that the cutest mug? I definitely recommend drinking it in your favorite mug. So golden milk is, I've mixed up a big jar of the powder. So you mix it in like making hot cocoa, but there's no chocolate obviously, but it's just a powder, and you mix it into your warm milk, just like you would with cocoa. And it has in it, there's different variations of this, but my version is, for this big jar, I mixed up 2 cups of turmeric, and a half cup each of cinnamon and ginger powders. And so I just mixed. Hi, Destiny. Just mixed up the 3 powders together. And then when I want to make a cup, I put in about a tablespoon into a little over a cup of milk, and of steamed milk, and just mix it up and drink it. Some people put honey in it if it's a little too whatever. It's not sweet except for whatever sweetness the milk has. So it's some people like to add a little sweetener, so they add some honey, but you don't necessarily need the honey. I don't usually add the honey. But anyway, turmeric is so good for you, and so getting a little bit of turmeric in your day with a nice, warm, comforting drink is definitely delicious. So give that a try. So if you don't want to mix up a whole 2 cup, well, it's more than 2 cups, a whole 3 cups worth at once, you can just do, so let's see, a tablespoon for your mug would be then a half a tablespoon of turmeric and a 1/4 tablespoon, which is slightly less than a teaspoon, of cinnamon, and slightly less than a teaspoon of ginger. So you could just make 1 cup's worth and see how you like it. And some people put in a little more cinnamon and ginger in the ratio, but yeah, make it however you want. Just make sure you get of course the cinnamon and ginger are good for you too. So there's that. And I'm sure you could make it with not cow milk if you don't drink cow milk. It doesn't have to be cow milk, but that's what we have here. So let's see. I have excuse me. Other things I was going to talk about. I actually I like lists, so made myself a little list of things I wanted to chat with you guys about. One of the things, I told you yesterday about my bunny, and that my bunny needs a friend, and so I am now knitting Started bunny number 2. That's about a quarter of a bunny there. So it'll be a square, and then you gather it up and it makes a bunny. So this is bunny number 2, black bunny. And so I got that started. And if you want to do a super easy knitting project and you only, especially if you're like new to knitting and don't want anything too complicated, super easy. It's just knit, knit, knit for a whole square, and that's it. So I was messaging with someone yesterday about knitting projects to do at home while I'm looking for things to do. Of course, I'm not really looking for things to do, but you know. And she suggested that about knitting for charities. And it had never occurred to me to knit for charities. I usually just knit for gifts. And but once I ran out of people that I feel like knitting something for, then knitting for charity is a great idea. So if you're a knitter or a crocheter, there are lots and lots of places that accept or even ask for knitted items, such as nursing homes and hospices and hospitals. They sometimes will accept or would like people to knit caps for preemies, and also little comforting blankets for babies and sick children, sometimes knitted toys for children. There's also one that's for Alzheimer's patients to have comforting soft blankets. And one that I thought was really interesting was called, I didn't write it down, knitted knockers. And so it's a nonprofit that has patterns posted on their website and a whole list of approved yarns that you can knit for women who have had mastectomies, because a knitted, what's it, obviously, I don't know what you'd call it, it's not an implant, a knitted knocker instead of a silicone one, or another sort of like special, expensive, uncomfortable bra for people who've had mastectomies. They say on the website that it's a lot more comfortable, and well, they have a whole list of reasons why it's more comfortable for people who've had mastectomies to use knitted knockers. And so they have a whole list of yarns that are the most comfortable for people to wear against their damaged tissue from the surgery and from radiation. The tissue in that area where they've had the mastectomy tends to be very sensitive. So they have a whole list of yarn and different patterns depending on whether you like to knit straight or knit in the round or knit magic loop or crochet or whatever. There's a whole list of patterns there that you can choose from too. So that is something I'm thinking of doing once I finish this bunny. So check them out. It's called Knitted Knockers. You can Google them. And Debbie says, hi. Hi, Debbie. Let's see. Oh, important things. If you have not yet looked at, or rather listened to, my newest podcast episode, that is available on wherever you like to listen to podcasts. If you've never listened to a podcast before, it is available for free on iHeartRadio and also on my website. And if you have an iPhone, it's also available on Apple Podcasts for free. So look that up. And let's see, what else did I have to tell you about today? If anyone wants to jump in with comments for whatever reason, feel free. Otherwise, it's just me yakking. I started my garden today. That's the other exciting news of the day. It snowed a little, so I don't really have any plans to plant outside yet, but it's time to start indoor starts. So I got my planting room all set up. It's not really a basement. It's like I don't even know what you'd call it. But anyway, there's a room under the house that is, we use it as the gardening shed, but it's part of the house. So anyway, that is where my indoor starts are. And so I got ready today to plant tomatoes downstairs, and they're not planted yet because there was some prep work to do, but I started on that, so exciting. I like gardening. I used to garden a lot and used to teach gardening classes. I actually have a book on growing organic apple trees, which you can find through the book link on my website, or just search on Amazon for Meredith cherry apples. Should bring you up a link. But anyway, I used to garden a lot. I haven't been gardening the last few years because I ride during growing season, so it hasn't really been possible for the last few years. But I don't know how this is going to work this year, whether I'll actually be able to ride or if I'll start late. In any case, even if I can't use the tomatoes, it's a fun little project to do, so I'm sure I can find homes for them. And they're old seeds, so I don't even know if they're going to grow, but it's something to do. So if you like gardening, don't forget it is time to get your tomatoes and peppers started. Didn't have any pepper seeds, so I couldn't do that, but any of those cold sensitive plants that you want to start indoors, it is definitely time to get those started. So get your hands in the dirt and get going with that if you like to start your own tomatoes and stuff. So let's see, I guess that was about it. I didn't really do anything else exciting today except for work on my schoolwork. If you haven't heard, I am doing a master's degree online through Arkansas State University, and I'm getting a master's in media management, which is in the communications field, and I am in my second term now, and so I'm doing 2 classes right now, and they are both analysis classes. They both are called something to do with analysis, so doing research and then how to analyze the data you get from your research. So interesting, but I'm technically spring break is this week, I guess, but I didn't know that until like Tuesday. It's online. It doesn't matter to me if it's spring break or not. And so anyway, it's spring break, but I'm working ahead, so I did a little homework today. So not very exciting, but I guess it can't all be fun and games. So I guess that's all the excitement from my end. Unless anyone has anything to comment, I will be back tomorrow and chat some more. And if you have anything to tell me, or any comments to make, or anything you'd like to hear about, oh, hi, Mike. Drop me a comment, and it's hailing. How exciting. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. So stay safe and have a good evening. Bye.